All right, welcome to RezoBiz, episode number 12. We get the fretboard worked on this week, a little bit of the neck, and I have lots of favorite parts. But probably my all-time favorite part it's just the part that I like more than any of it is shaping the braces on the back. I don't know why, I just do. That's coming up. I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars, and welcome to RezoBiz, where everything is greater with a resonator. Alright, here's our locust back. I have the center brace put on now. That was glue, but it's just a stick there. So get that glued on, and then we can start doing the bracing going across this way. Here are our braces. I've cut them. Now each is 2. These are thicker than these. So these will be at the upper bout, up here, and then the thicker would be down here. And these are brace platforms, and I'm going to explain the reasoning behind that, but it's got a purpose. It's the fun thing about guitars. I think every builder, he has his logic behind what he does. When you first start, you just want to build one, and I think there definitely is thinking goes in your first one, but you're learning stuff. But as you go along, you come up with your own theories on things and reasonings and thoughts, and that's what ends up giving different sounds to different guitars, and why we have so many different really well-made custom guitars and not so many custom dobros. There's not a lot of builders out there for dobros, but I follow a lot of the teachings, things that people teach you about guitars, and I put it into the dobros. For one, on a guitar, the top, which this is not the top, this is the back, the top on a guitar is the most prized creation for a guitar player. It seems like they put a lot of time in it, whereas this is the biggest piece of wood that actually will resonate with the sound. And I use it, I work it with the mindset that this is my soundboard. The top mainly is taken care of by the cone, which I use Paul Beard's cones, his Legend cone. That's just my favorite one. But most of the top, all the work that's done in the top, and it's not entirely, the wood and the way you construct it do definitely make a difference. But the majority of it, 80% of what the top does is done by the cone in your setup. So this is where I put the time in to really adjust sound for the guitar. There's different methods and ways of looking at it. Some look at it as just a reflective backing to bounce the sound forward, and then some use it to really adjust the sound, and that's kind of how I look at it. I'm tweaking this back to adjust the sound, and so I have this weird brace pattern that I do, and my own reasoning behind it, and everything, all the way to the way I do the back, the center, all these components work together to resonate in a specific fashion. And it's still growing. I'm still working on it. I'm still developing it. And I've learned some new things recently that I want to implement, but I haven't done yet. But they're just little tiny subtle things, just a little here and a little there to tweak the tone and help me get everything I can sound-wise out of it. Volume and tone. Tone's more important than volume. But there we go. There's the start to our back. All right. So for me, it's a good morning. Oh yeah. I got my coffee. It is a pretty morning. I think I'm awake. I've been awake for a while, but my head and eyes don't necessarily feel awake. I've got the fretboard cut out. I've got, well, thickness. I've got to measure it, find the center, lay my template on it, and get it ready to go. I've got to work on the head some more before I can put the head plate on. I've got the head plate ready, and then we've got center strap glued to the back, and I've got it marked out. I don't know if you can see that on there, but I've got everything marked out for where my braces go, and I've got these foundational braces about ready to go. There's a little bit of work to do on them. So it's just a nice morning of just cutting braces and shaping them a little bit. And I'm going to cut out the notches for where these pieces go. I'm just going to take my time, and this is, again, another one of those things I would say is my favorite part. I like putting it back together. This is the intricate, I guess this is, for the dobro, this is the closest it gets to the fine detail that you would do like on the top of a guitar. And I do enjoy it. I just, if you play some nice music, have something going in the background, and then just work on the guitar. So anyhow, that's what I'll be doing this morning. These braces actually will lay on top of this, but the part that actually shows, I want it to be smoothed out, rounded over. I don't want a hard, straight edge. I think of it as the sound flowing over it. I don't want hard edges for it to catch on. So I try to round everything, smooth everything on the inside of the guitar. Hopefully you can hear me over sanding, but try to make it smooth and let the sound slide out of it. There we go. Now I got it glued on. I'm just going to get in here and get this excess up. Get that cleaned up really good. So I'll give you a kind of up close look at this. I've got my braces not set on. There we go, that was pretty close to right. What you notice, there's my foundational braces. They're laid on there, and I put this one on there, and it looks like a rocking horse situation. Legs for a rocking horse is what it looks like I've got. This doesn't have a foundational piece, but it goes in like that, nice and tight. So what I gotta do now is bring the back to the brace, and I will have an arched back. And there's reasons and theories about that. It's a different approaches to the way you build your back. But this back's loaded, it's tense, kind of like a springboard. I'll glue those in, then I shape the the braces and get them the way I want them. There's my braces being glued on. I have lots of favorite parts to building the guitar. This is probably the favoritist. Is that a word? Favoritist? Most favorite? This is it. I don't know why, but using a block plane and just working these braces down and just playing with it until it's, I don't know, that it feels the looseness has the tone when I tap on it that I think it should sound like. It's not a machine, so I'm not grinding on it. I use the cutter, the cutting blade on it. I don't know why. I just like it. I have a couple different planes. I have misplaced I have a little bigger plane that I use, and I've set it somewhere. I don't know where I put it. So anyhow, I haven't put too much time looking for it because I can use this one. So I'll be using this one, and usually I use two different ones, but for today I'm just going to use this one because I don't want to hunt the other one. I think I've taken it out into the other shop. So put this tape on here so when I'm rounding the top of this brace, I'm not banging into that center strip. And the funny looking foam on here is just because it's an arched back, and now it is arched, and so I'm flat down here, and I'm not trying to press it down flat when I get out here and pushing on it, because I don't want to stress or crack anything. When I'm building guitars, to me, or when I think about building guitars, this is what I think of: wood shavings and chisels, sharpening chisels, and just working with them. And I think when you build a guitar, there's more need for this kind of stuff. And I mean acoustic guitar, where the dobro, the main place you use is just on the back. And there's a lot of intricate stuff done on an acoustic guitar on the top. But again, on a resonator, the cone, a good cone and a spider really make a great difference. And a lot of other setup in it too. But so this is the luthier carving bit to a dobro right here. This is the heart of it to me. I just like this part. Alright, so I've been through the whole thing now with 120 and 220 and then 320, and I'm getting ready to hit it with some 400 just to really smooth it up and get it, it's just as nice as I can make it. Got those little nicks, they weren't really nicks, they were like bumps, dents in the center strap. Got those out from when I was blocking it. I forgot to put the tape on. So that's all looking nice now. Now I just take a piece of this 400 and I'm just going to go over the braces and just the idea, well, two things. It's just nice as I can make it on the inside without putting finish on it, and then it's just smooth. I guess I think of the wood as like a sound room in a recording studio. You don't, not that I know a lot about recording, but I know enough. You don't want smooth, echoey sounds, and they try to control the sounds by putting different things on the walls that kind of baffle or the sound or capture it to keep the echo down. Where with this, I'm not trying to muffle it, so I'm not trying to, and I suppose you could kind of control maybe your tone a little bit with the way you sand it, but no, I'm not trying to muffle it. I'm trying to let it come out as best it can. So I will finish it up with some 400 here and just have it nice and finished out and nice and smooth. And then I'll clean it off a bit and I'll do my sign. I'll put my signature on it right there. If ever you have one of my guitars and you see the signature, the date on the signature will be different than the date on the label. That's because I sign it when I do the back. When I finish the back, I sign it and I put the date on it, and that really represents the date of when I finished the back, not the guitar. That can confuse some people sometimes probably, but that's why it's like that. Why do I do that? I don't know. It's just what I do. Didn't put a whole lot of reason or thought into it. Just I sign it, date it, and then when I finish it up, last thing I do is I put the label in it. It's a wooden label, and it'll have a date also, and it won't be the same as this one. It's because it represents when it was actually finished. So anyhow, that's that. Little 400 grit sanding now. Someone might ask, does the 400 grit really make that much difference? I don't know. I mean, have I built a guitar exactly the same, two guitars exactly the same, finished one in 320 and finished one in 400? No. It's just a theory. It's just and really every little thing you do, you try to do with a purpose. Even the way I taper these, the thickness of these, how thick they are towards the end. I have a reason I've done it all. How much of a difference it makes, I don't know. I think everything makes a difference, and you add enough of them up together, and you're gonna get a specific, noticeable sound. So to get the sound, of course, if you hear one of my guitars and you don't like it, well then there you go. Those things that I didn't make much of a difference. But if you like it and you say, well, that's unique, well, maybe that's part of why. Those little things. But it is every guitar builder, I think. The sound they get is an accumulation of all the little things that they do, and life's kind of like that, really. The name that you build for yourself and how people see you and perceive you is not going to be just usually on one act that you do, but a lot of the little things that come along with bigger things too. Okay, I think I've got it ready. I have sanded it, got it as clean and nice as I could. I've got my sound posts marked on this template for my top brace. Anyhow, where they connect to it. So I lay it on here in the right position, and I mark out for where the sound posts go, and then I recess them so that my posts, which there it is, sound post will set down into the holes. They're kind of locked in when they are glued to the top. So that's ready. I think I'm done. So it's time for this kind of finishes it. When I do this, this says the back's ready. The next, there is some trimming here when I get it fitted to the back, or to the rims on the side of the guitar. But right now it's ready. This part's done. put my name, J. Byrl Murdoch. James Byrl is family name. My great-grandpa from Ireland had that name. And then my grandpa gave it to my dad, and well, not the James part, but the Byrl part. My dad gave me the full name, and I've already passed it on myself. My life's verse. Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. Put that little reference to that verse on all of them too. Alright. Fun. Yeah, it is. It's my favorite part. So all that grinder work was to square up, level out. When I put this on, this is my template for my fretboards. Actually neck shape. When I put this on here, I know the right distance from the end to where the nut should be, and it was too short. Well, this is extra thick, so what I did is I buzzed it down. Usually I would square this up with table saw, but I don't have my big table saw here at this shop, so I use the grinder to do it, which I've done quite a few times before. It's just I don't like doing it quite that way every time, but I've got it's a nice straight flat. I put the square on it, and it's coming out real nice. So what I can do now is, when I get my fretboard shaped, we got our inlaid frets in it now. There's the right length for the nut and the fretboard up to the 12th fret, and then I have a taper, a bevel, a ramp, an angle, I don't know which one to call it, so that when I put this head plate on here, it's square and flat up against the nut, which is a 90-degree right off the top of the neck. So everything matches up real nice, and it'll be sandwiched in. So that means is we are ready to glue on a head plate. And once I do that, then we can draw out the template, or use the template to draw out where the shape of the head plate's going to be, or what it's going to be. Get that done, finish shaping the back of the neck, get the heel cap on, and the bolts for it, which I might do the little bolts here in just a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. But moving forward with that just a little bit. So I got this clamped up. So this is just a cowl. I'll take this, I'll clean this up while it's still gooey, get the glue off of it. Now we can do the inlay on this and get the neck glued on for a fretboard. And there's our heel cap. And I've already got my spots for the holes for neck bolts marked, and they coincide exactly with the holes in the neck block on the guitar. Okay, so we've gotten some things done. We got a real nice back put together here, and it's pretty well ready now. We gotta get it lined up with the sides, and we'll get it fitted so that it can go on. Probably get that glued on next week. I gotta figure out what I'm doing for inlay on this fretboard. I have tons of ideas going through my head. Not sure what I'm gonna do. Just not sure. It's exciting to me though. Lots of options. This is the fun part of not having, it's not in orders, so I can do whatever I want with it. And I have ideas running through my head. I just got to figure out, make a decision on one. So we'll probably do that next week. We have our neck head plate glued on. We have fretboard lined up, and hopefully we'll get neck bolts in. I keep talking about neck bolts. I do own neck bolts for this thing. We have them right here. And I cut the neck holes in the neck block, so maybe we'll get those put in too. Here's my, I guess a template, my guide for doing it. So I've already used this. I didn't video it. One night I just ended up doing it. But anyhow, there's the proof. I do know what neck bolts are. I do have them. We'll get them in eventually. Next week, hopefully. We'll get the neck kind of lined up a little bit. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for episode number 13 next week. And if you can make it to the IBMA, come play this thing. It'd be fantastic. I would love for you to hear it. I'm excited to hear it. And then I'll be auctioning it off for just the cost in parts. So stay tuned. There'll be more on social media and stuff like that about how to put in a bid if you're interested in it. It will be wild, and it's going to look so much different than it does right now. It's not even funny. All right, thank you for watching.